Ladies and gentlemen, Black Clover is setting up Asta's brand new Wizard King moment. In the most recent chapters, Ryu confirms that the Paladins' arrival in the Land of Sun pose as country-level threats, and so he takes Ichika with him to defend the land, leaving the strongest member of the Ryuzen with Asta to finally complete his training. Even though Asta is becoming depressed at the thought of not getting stronger, we as the readers can understand that he is getting stronger. He just doesn't see it yet. He has entered the stage of imagining hypothetical scenarios in order to diminish his own worth by believing that Yuno could have stopped Lucius and saved Sister Lily. However, we all know that that is complete and utter rubbish.
Stop the cap!
Asta was and is the only person that could have stood a chance, as he is the anomaly. When Lucius stopped time, Asta's anti-magic was the only thing that could have saved them. Yuno would have just been frozen too and turned into a paladin like Sister Lily was. Even Yosuga says he can see why Ryu wants Asta to train with him because of how interesting he is. Considering this is the strongest member of the Ryuzen who sees Asta's worth, it showcases that even in this short amount of time, Asta has grown immensely.
That's why he's the GOAT!
Remember that only the Ryuzen are capable of achieving Zetten, which takes years to master. They have mastered Ki that lets them claim that title. So within a whole country that has millions of people, only 7 have this elite rank, which highlights how rare this ability is, yet Asta impressed them with only 3 days to achieve their level of mastery. Now that is what you call shonen protagonist power.
Sensational.
So, to keep their training at the highest possible level, Asta is being healed by another member of the Ryuzen whilst they fight, because, you know, no one dies in Black Clover, everybody can heal, remember? Yosuga tells Asta that his hesitation is stopping him from getting better at Zetten, but Asta doesn't agree. However, one's katana does not lie, which is when Yosuga tells Asta that his blade can cut through anything that stands in his way, and the conviction that he has is the difference between Asta and him. Now, we all remember from chapter 316 that Asta's katana will cut anything in its path except those it wants to protect. But now his hesitation and conviction have put him in an unwinnable situation. That is because his enemy this time is Sister Lily, his one true love. Therefore, his katana will not be able to cut her, as deep down he will hesitate, even though she did reject his ass. But at the end of the day, this is what will save her and everybody else under the manipulation of Lucius. Sister Lily herself doesn't deserve to die. She is but a pawn abiding by the laws of an evil tyrant. In the eyes of Lucius, she is expendable, and for that reason, killing her fixes absolutely nothing, as she is not the root cause of the problem that the world is facing. Lucius is. Now everybody gather round and get comfortable because you are about to enter my classroom. That is because it is where I reveal that Tabata has been inspired by the legend of Muramasa and Masamune from Japanese lore to create Black Clover's story. Muramasa challenged his teacher Masamune to build a new, better sword. After working hard, they tested both swords that they had made. The task was to suspend the blades in a tiny brook with the cutting edge against the current. Muramasa's blade sliced fish, leaves, and even the air, whereas Masamune's cut only the leaves. The fish approached it and harmlessly swam past as the air gently blew by the blade. Muramasa eventually mocked his master's sword-making skills. However, a monk who had been watching explained what he had witnessed. The first of the swords was by all accounts a fine sword. However, it is a bloodthirsty, evil blade, as it does not discriminate as to who or what it will cut. It may just as well be cutting down butterflies as severing heads. The second was by far the finer of the two, as it does not needlessly cut that which is innocent and undeserving. The legend of Muramasa and Masamune is often interpreted as a cautionary tale about the dangers of allowing anger and negative emotions to control one's actions. This tale is often used to illustrate the difference between good and evil. This is an example exact replica of Asta's current training, and his character arc will further prove that he is the one and only that will be able to save the world, as he is more than just a normal bloodthirsty blade. He told Dante over 100 chapters ago that he controls his anger and negative thoughts in order to do good deeds, because humans are meant to strive for this ideal because they are not naturally evil as he claimed. Therefore, Asta is a special case when it comes to learning the ways of the samurai. He has the safety and well-being of others in mind, which fits the title of Wizard King, paralleling Ryu, who protected the citizens as Shogun. Meanwhile though, we met a new baddie.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right. I know that you guys are going to be simping for this crazy bitch, because she's basically Zenitsu, but hot.
But you one crazy ass bitch.
Similar to how Asta felt worthless, Kezokaku too is in a state of depression, as she all but accepts that her life is over. Yet, when she draws her blade, it is a whole new story, as she goes absolute sicko mode, completely blitzing Lily and slicing her horn off. Lily retaliates with her gravity magic, but to no avail, as Ichika states how Kezokaku goes too far when she stops thinking. However, avoiding attacks may not be the best bet, as the five-headed dragon boasts its strength by effortlessly obliterating a mountain in the distance. But the Ryuzen were fully prepared for the destruction that would come with the dragon, as it is revealed that Ryu's eye allowed him to see what Lucius was planning for the next day. And that is how he evacuated the town so quickly, and the Ryuzen are so prepared for battle, as he already knew which paladins would arrive, their powers, and what they would do. This explains why Asta's training has been taken up a notch, as Ryu will know that Asta is the flaw in Lucius's plan. Therefore, it is imperative that Asta be trained as fast as humanly possible. However, this does bring up another question regarding the source of Ryu's power. This of course sounds a lot like, say it with me, 3, 2, 1, Astaroth.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
The Astaroth that we know in Black Clover was one of the 3 kings of hell, yet abandoned his role over 20 years ago and vanished from the underworld, instead forming a contract with Lucius Zogratis and together with him manipulating the Wizard King Julius, using humanity as his pawns to further his goals. Now, going off our own world demonology, we know that when summoned, Astaroth is also happy to share his knowledge and will answer all questions truthfully, as he can see the past, present, and events of the future. Emphasis there on the present. Ryu possessing the power of Astaroth thematically helps tie his story together with Asta and Lucius, because, believe it or not, all 3 are cut from the same cloth.
What do you mean by that?
Remember that Tabata stated that this final arc of Black Clover is to explore the idea of the ultimate Wizard King? Lucius wants to birth an equal world, free of discrimination. However, his methods are wrong and it's not true equality either. In chapter 310 of the Black Clover manga, Lucius states to his brother Zenon that the weak die easily. It's impossible to protect them all. In that case, we'll destroy them temporarily. Then we will regenerate them into undying bodies. The problem here, aside from, killing all of humanity, is the fact that he will still be a ruler that decides what is good and what is bad, disposing of anybody that comes against him. He does this by utilizing the power of Astaroth. Ryu, on the other hand, is the closest we have seen to achieving an equal country, as there is no classism like there was before he was the shogun, as seen in chapter 342. Back then we had misogyny in the form of Yami's father, but there was also a clear classist division within the public, as when Ryu would go to hang out with the poorer kids, they'd warn him he could get in trouble by dirtying his clothes. His journey to becoming the shogun parallels Asta's, as he was a peasant that went to royals to prove that they can work together despite their class, whilst Ryu as a royal went to the peasants to appreciate their worth as well. Ryu didn't care and just wanted to experience the fun of being around people, but he's also mannerless, so in order for him to change his country and create a perfect world, he required power. This will be when he would have formed a deal with Astaroth. As we know, when he was younger, he still had both eyes, unlike he does today. And we all know that Lucius's power isn't perfect, and that is why he sees multiple futures and needs to use his own presumptions based on probability to make a correct decision. However, but as we see in the case of Asta, they aren't always correct. This makes sense when you consider he may only have one of Astaroth's eyes because Ryu has the other. This also connects to Asta's story, a mannerless being with the power of a devil that aspires to create a world free of discrimination and change it for the better. In chapter 346, he states that the first thing they need to do is save the people. Similarly, Asta did the same thing, but he would rather be seen as the enemy of the state and be called guilty for something he didn't do by saving Mari with his devil power in front of everyone. Ryu has come close to achieving a peaceful society as everyone loves his leadership. However, we've seen that although classism has been demolished, xenophobia has not, because they look down upon Asta for being a foreigner. Asta earned the respect of royals in his own country, but has also been the main figurehead in uniting the Heart, Diamond, and Spade Kingdom. Solving the xenophobic attitude the Land of Sun has, Asta will keep his words to Dante that humans can wield power for good. From chapter 346, we can see the whole town is watching the battle go down. This will provide yet another Wizard King moment for Asta, just like when he saved everyone against the ancient demon, and Namor and Lilith, and of course, Trashafero.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Therefore, Asta is going to save another foreign land from its impending doom with his new Zetten ability. Asta unlocked it against Ichika, but could not execute it in chapter 340. But now, with the strongest Ryuzen fixing his form to pull out the Zetten, which mind you makes him 100 times stronger, he will be able to save the Ryuzen from Lucius's Paladins and bring Sister Lily back to her senses. Despite being the most powerful enemies they have ever faced, with the inspiring words of Ryu in mind, the Ryuzen enter full power as they fight to protect their country, with each one's power symbolizing a Japanese deity or piece of folklore. Kezukaku with Snow Yojutsu uses the spell Blood-Stained Silver Fox, symbolizing the Kitsune, a paranormal fox in Japanese mythology that grows stronger and wiser with age. Daizemon possesses Earth Yojutsu and uses a spell called Wisdom King Buddhist Priest, a type of wrathful deity in East Asian Buddhism, whilst Jozo uses his Wind Yojutsu, Gale Rakshasa Blade, based on the Rakshasa, a shape-shifting demon from Hindu mythology. Kumari uses Lightning Yojutsu, Vajra Yakashime Five-Fold Dance, inspired by Yaksha, a loving deity that guards the righteous. And then lastly, of course, Ichika lands her Dark Yojutsu, Black Crescent Moon, representing the infamous tale of the bamboo cutter that many manga take their inspiration from, resulting in all 5 of the Ryuzen members destroying one of the ancient dragon's heads. But although the 5-headed dragon of legend was defeated, the nonchalant reaction from Sister Lily all but confirms that the battle has only just begun. As unfortunately, devil users and forbidden magic have regeneration abilities. Arcane magic is required to take them down for good. Asta's anti-magic will be perfect to stop their onslaught and save the town from being completely destroyed. Ryu mentioned in this chapter that they have the power to bring the dead back to life and also the power to control magical beasts. So yeah, you can bet your bottom dollar that this fight is not done yet. All hope is not lost, however. Despite the public of Japan currently hating foreigners, once they see Asta's selfless acts of saving their lives and removing the ancient dragon that destroyed their land hundreds of years ago, they will recognize him as a good person. Trust me, I will see to that myself, which only further pushes his merit higher and higher to earn the right of Wizard King over Yuno.